Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Marion Page from Historic England. I'm a heritage information specialist, um, and now I'm very much working with historic environment records, of which quite a few are represented here. So, welcome. And HIAS, historic environment records, are really at the heart of HIAS. Without them, HIAS would not work really. Okay, HIAS. I'm here to shed a bit of light on it and also to maybe help with confusion. What is it? HIAS is quite often flying around as an acronym, but what does it actually mean? HIAS stands for Heritage Information Access Simplified. It was born as a strategy, but now it is rephrased as Heritage Information Access Simplified. It is a program of interlinked projects designed to simplify and improve public access to heritage data. And I have chosen this image. This is basically the opposite what HIAS wants to achieve. You can see chaos, you can't find anything. And this is the physical world, but chaos also exists in the digital world. So let's have a look why HIAS and why the roots of HIAS. So let's go back to 2016, a different world and a different government. It was the conservative government under Cameron. And from the government, Historic England got a call in a culture white paper of 2016 saying, we will ask Historic England to work with local authorities to enhance and rationalize national and local heritage records over the next 10 years so that communities and developers have easy access to historic environment records. So this is 2016. We are now in 2025, so nearly, not quite all of the time, but yes, we have made progress, and that's why I'm here to show you something. Okay, what followed after the 2016 white paper? Historic England got together in partnership with stakeholders in the sector, such as Algeo or other amenity societies, and to develop a series of projects that aim to simplify access and under the umbrella of Heritage Information Access Strategy. But HIAS is not just a series of projects, it is also perceived as a business and culture change program for those involved in producing and handling heritage data. And in these early years, HIAS stakeholders created 8 key principles. And I have not listed these deliberately here because I want you to all scan the barcode and go on the HIAS website where you find many, many more information. But if you don't want to scan, you can also search under HIAS Historic England and you find also many more background information on that. But I will refer to these key principles throughout the talk. And sorry, colleagues working in HIAS, I did not mean you are donkeys using the donkey road, but it is a steep hill we had to climb, and I thought that this picture is quite appropriate. So, as I said, in the early years, the stakeholders and Historic England designed projects to make this happen, the simplified access. And I'm now talking about these key projects. First of all, data transfer. It is a project that makes sure that local historic environment records, HERs, will be the first port of call of local records relevant to their area. Historic England, or before English Heritage, had created their own national record. And we now like to pass or transfer these records to HERs. So they are the first port of call of their local records. That is the data transfer project. OASIS is the online reporting system. Maybe a lot of you know this already. It's quite established. It's the system for uploading and providing access to information and reports about investigation in the historic environment. And a national security copy, it is basically we wanted to make sure that all the data is not lost for future generations. So we created a national security copy code of practice and data management statements. More about it later. The next projects, 6 in total, is a new heritage gateway. You might know already the old heritage gateway. But we are working on a much more improved system to provide an overview of England's historic environment data. Apologies, I forgot to say HIAS is a program concerning just England, not the rest of the UK. Then another exciting project is the National Marine Heritage Record. So we are also creating a new marine heritage record system that allows a cross search through all the marine data set. And the last one is the Heritage Reference Data Management System that will aid the dissemination of heritage reference data across the heritage sector, and a bit more later as well. So these are the 6 core projects. This is just a little infographic to look at the HIAS interrelation. All of the projects have a value on their own, of course, but they all relate to each other, and the new Heritage Gateway benefits mostly from all these projects together. So they're all kind of related also to the new Heritage Gateway, to which you can very much look forward to. So OASIS reports uploaded or investigations uploaded onto OASIS will go straight to HERs, who then supply their records to the new heritage gateways. Once they also receive data from our national record, who, as part of the data transfer, that also will feed into the new heritage gateway. The national marine record will also be able to cross search on the heritage gateway, and all is underpinned by data standards fed through the reference data management system. Okay, so let's have a look what we've achieved so far. Projects established or in process. OASIS, as I mentioned, this is already an established system in the field and widely used by heritage practitioners across the UK. It is very much established in the archaeology sector, but increasingly also in the built heritage sector and also in the marine sector. And hopefully this will all increase. Data transfer. So considerable progress has been made, and I'm happy to say that quite a few in the audience have suffered longly and have transferred their data over. On this, you can see a map of English HERs and you can see the green ones have completed their transfer. The orange ones are currently in progress. Yellow have just a little bit worked on it, and the blue ones still have to engage. And also the security copy. 61% of English HIAS have signed the National Security Copy Code of Praxis, and also this means there is an access protocol in place, which means should something happen to the record, there are means in place how we could temporarily rescue the whole record. So this is a mechanism of making sure that data is not lost. And also 69 have submitted a comprehensive data management statement, so we know how they manage the data and where is it stored, is there metadata, and so on and so on. Okay, so these are the three that are fairly well in progress, very good going. Now I'm talking about the three that will be established in 25 and 26. And the first exciting one is a new heritage gateway. And I will go into more details to each one, just to mention them here. So it's a replacement for the existing heritage gateway, and it will be much more reliable and making use of modern technology and like API or Elasticsearch. The National Marine Heritage Record will be a new system built on the open source HIAS platform, and the reference data management system also built on the HIAS platform in partnership with the Getty Conservation Institute, sorry. Okay, let's have a look at the new Heritage Gateway. The beta launch will be in autumn 25. And the search functionality will be on the Historic England website. And it is a database for cross-searching all national or local heritage information datasets, primarily HER data. The exciting part of it that all data providers or dataset will be searchable in a graph database, a single searchable graph database, and it is all linked to data principles. When we designed it, it had to be a core data standard requirement, and we call it the Heritage Gateway record. This is the core data requirement, what we expect a record should look like. And I can also say that the new Heritage Gateway through the back door is enforcing record standards, which of course aids interoperability and the FAIR principles. Of course, it is. We had to also allow for various routes for HERs or data providers to give us these or to supply records. And we have three possible API submission, API harvesting, or file transfer protocol servers. So there is a choice of how data reaches the new Heritage Gateway. Once transferred, records are validated against the core Heritage Gateway record. And if there are any records that are if they don't meet these standards, they are rejected and going back to the data providers, and they then can work on the record to make it up to standard, so to speak. Yes, and there's also a candidate term submission in process, and yes. So it will not only be a searchable data store, but also it enforces record standards through the back door. National Marine Heritage Record. This will be a resource that is also accessible via a publicly available version online. And there are the online version for the public. I think the launch is next year. Internally in Historic England is already a launch later in the year, in autumn. There are different phases until this is then fully established, but it is happening this year, next year. Why is there a record, a national marine record? I go back to the core principles. It was established that whereas historic environment records are the port of call for locally generated records, the Historic England is the holder of national important records like the NHLE or the National Marine Heritage Record. It was a decision made. And there is now an increased need for a reliable database for marine information, because there is a lot of activity going on in the seas for offshore wind farming, aggregate extraction, and new pipelines, and so on and so on. And this data is vital for informing the planning in the marine world. Okay, a heritage reference data management system. The release is about, it's also in autumn 25, and it was developed in partnership with the Getty Conservation Institute, and it is essentially a tool to manage reference data, a tool for data standards specialists to administer or to create standard or terminology. This is a standalone application, and it will be, the system is called Lingo, if you hear that flying around. And it is, I think I mentioned it already, also based on the open software platform HIAS. Lingo will be streamlining current workflows and will provide a one-stop shop for collaborative creation and management of digital publication of reference data. So a one-stop shop for the data standards creators. So these are the data standards specialists who then administer these reference data. Public search interface will use images and documents to illustrate concepts. It will promote standards and best practice to enable interoperability, as I said before. This is just an illustration of the dashboard for the data standards manager, who will be working on these different concepts and updating it, and then feeding the up-to-date information to the data creators. The impact of HIAS, well, it tries to remove uncertainty for researchers of where to go for information. I have to say that HIAS is not yet completely perfect, but HIAS provides this, or hopes to make it all happen, the simplified access. It also enables online searching across different resources and improves the completeness and consistency of heritage resources. And also we want it to be a guarantee guaranteed continue to be available. That is all for me. Thank you very much.